to Egypt to pave way for diversifying and strengthening cooperation. No exemption in implementation of minimum wage. Malaysia Madani, I'm Jessica Lee and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim's 4-day official visit to Egypt starting today is set to mark a significant milestone in the relations between Malaysia and Egypt. Now, the visit at the invitation of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi would pave the way for diversifying and strengthening cooperation, as well as reinforcing the foundations for synergy in addressing various regional and global issues of mutual interest. Datuk Seri Anwar is expected to arrive in Cairo at 6:30 p.m. local time or 12:30 a.m. Malaysian time. Malaysia's ambassador to Egypt, Dato' Muhammad Tariq Sufyan, said a welcoming ceremony will be held at the Al-Ittihadiyah Palace, followed by a bilateral meeting.
Yang paling utama, perbincangan akan tertumpu kepada pertukaran pandangan dan membincangkan hala tuju bidang kerjasama berkepentingan bersama, iaitu dalam isu konflik di Palestin. Pada tahun ini merupakan genap 65 tahun hubungan diplomatik yang ditubuhkan antara Malaysia dan Egypt, dan ini merupakan satu tarikh yang amat bersejarah bagi kedua-dua negara.
Datuk Seri Anwar and LCC are also scheduled to witness the exchange of Memoranda of Understanding MOUs between Malaysia and Al-Azhar Al-Sharif for collaboration at the Faculty of Islamic Studies and an MOU on cooperation in religious affairs between Malaysia and Egypt. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, or MCMC, has the right to impose additional conditions on U Mobiles Sdn Bhd before granting them the spectrum to operate the country's second 5G network. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil said the conditions are necessary to maintain balance and ensure healthy competition among telecommunications companies.
Dan kita tak boleh keliru syarat pemilihan dengan syarat yang akan dikenakan untuk spektrum. Itu adalah dua perkara yang berbeza dan semua telco faham perkara ini. Semua telco faham. Sewaktu penggabungan Celcom dan Digi, MCMC mengenakan syarat sejumlah spektrum perlu dikembalikan. Dan sekiranya U Mobile ingin bekerjasama dengan mana-mana syarikat lain, syarikat telco lain untuk membangunkan rangkaian 5G kedua, maka MCMC perlu mengenakan syarat-syarat supaya tidak berlaku satu ketidakseimbangan. Kita ingin pastikan DNB dan juga rangkaian kedua akan dapat saling melengkapi di samping bersaing dengan sihat.
He said this after launching National Courier Day 2024 in Cyberjaya. On the 1st of November, MCMC announced U Mobile's selection as Malaysia's second 5G network operator, aiming to ensure the full benefits of 5G technology reaching the public, industries and the nation. The selection was based on a combination of factors such as business and technical plans, satisfaction records and the company's track record in executing other infrastructure projects. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil today urged all courier companies in the country to participate in the Courier Safety Passport Training Program to further enhance the safety of workers and the efficiency of parcel deliveries. Now, he said the program also aims to ensure the safe handling of parcels and to provide necessary skills for courier industry workers to perform their duties effectively.
Beberapa pihak untuk memberi penekanan kepada syarikat-syarikat kurier untuk mereka menitik beratkan keselamatan dari segi penghantaran bungkusan dan selepas itu para pelanggan akan dapat membuat pilihan yang juga lebih bijak yang kita jangka akan membantu sektor kurier melakukan kawalan kendiri, self-regulation.
He said the program also aims to ensure the safe handling of parcels and to provide necessary skills for courier industry workers to perform their duties effectively. To date, there are 104 courier companies that hold postal and courier licenses in the country, managing almost 97% of parcel deliveries to customers. Now, on another matter, Fahmi said over 230,000 visitors are anticipated to attend the Madani government second anniversary celebrations set to take place from the 22nd to the 24th of November at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre, KLCC. Now, he said the 2024 National Convention on Public Service Reform will be also held at the same venue from the 23rd to the 24th of November. Fahmi, who is also the spokesperson for the Unity Government, expressed confidence that the target would be met thanks to the event's strategic location. He added that preparations for the celebration, chaired by Chief Secretary to the Government, Tan Sri Samsul Azri Abu Bakar, are progressing smoothly.
Dan dari segi pengisian, akan disampaikan maklumat mengenai status pelaksanaan agenda reformasi perkhidmatan awam. Akan diadakan pengumuman deklarasi Kuala Lumpur, tekad bersama perkhidmatan awam Malaysia serta beberapa perkara yang lain. Jadi ada program 2 tahun Kerajaan Madani bersekali dengan Konvensyen Nasional Reformasi Perkhidmatan Awam tahun 2024. Sewaktu diadakan program setahun Kerajaan Madani yang diadakan di Stadium Nasional Bukit Jalil, pada waktu itu lebih 230,000 orang yang hadir. Kita jangkakan kali ini dengan lokasi yang strategik, jumlah yang hadir, kita harap dapat mencecah ataupun lebih daripada angka itu.
The Ministry of Defence, or MINDEF, is closely monitoring Malaysian Armed Forces, or the ATM personnel, deployed for the Malbat Peacekeeping mission in Lebanon. Deputy Defence Minister Adli Zahari said that MINDEF maintains daily communication to ensure updates on assignments, operations and the overall situation in Lebanon are consistently relayed to the senior leadership of ATM and Defence Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin. Met today, he added that the government will take action based on necessities decided by the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, as it must consider the involvement of all countries in the peacekeeping mission. Meanwhile, Malaysia's commitment to the mission continues, as do the contributions from other nations providing troops to Lebanon.
Kita akan bertindak mengikut tanggungjawab kita yang telah kita sepakati dalam UNIFIL itu sendiri. Jadi sebab UNIFIL yang menyelaras sama ada operasi, tindakan-tindakan kita. Jadi kita akan mengambil kira semua aspek-aspek itu. ATM akan dari masa ke semasa akan membuat kenyataan kalau ianya terkait dengan anggota kita. Tapi yang paling penting macam saya sebutkan tadi adalah kita nak pastikan bahawa tugas dan tanggungjawab misi keamanan kita itu berjalan dengan baik.
The two friends who were promised employment with 4,000 ringgit salary a month ended up as victims of an employment syndicate in Cambodia. Now, both victims from Felda Aitawa 4 were initially offered employment at a casino in the country and were later forced to become scammers, working 18 hours from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. every day without pay. The duo was among 8 Malaysians detained by the Cambodian immigration since September after their workplace in Sihanoukville was raided. Their ordeal finally got the attention of the Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said, who is also Pengerang MP, who assisted them to return home.
Saya berhubung dengan Wisma Putra dan kemudian saya dapat maklumat mereka ni nanti diorang cerita sendirilah. Dan saya pun dimaklumkan bahawa proses nak bawa dia orang balik ni memakan masa. Yang saya pun agak terperanjat kenapa bila dah selamatkan hantar balik pun mahal. Mahal tu satu hal. Kenapa nak hantar balik pun susah. Itu sebab saya panggil duta Laos jumpa saya. Cambodia jumpa saya, bincang. Dan alhamdulillah dalam masa seminggu mereka selesaikan.
She said this when met by reporters in Kota Tinggi today. The victim, Nur Azlin Zulkifli, 28, said she left for Cambodia on the 18th of April, while her friend, Muhammad Sofi Khairul Fazila, 33, arrived 1 week later. Coming up, policy for bankrupt companies to be fine-tuned through national convention.
On the table.
Obviously, there are two main engines of growth in any economies.
What are the implications of Malaysia's growth on employment, income levels, and also standard of living per population?
From a historical perspective, it's been good. The capacity in our country can be built to be in the same level as the world standards.
Welcome back. No employers will be exempted or given flexibility in the implementation of the minimum wage, which will be taking effect next February. Now, according to Deputy Human Resource Minister Datuk Sri Abdul Rahman Mohamad, the government will also not compromise with employers who claim they are unable to comply.
Buat masa ini kalau ada yang membuat laporan, kita masih tak boleh ambil tindakan kerana kuat kuasanya pada Februari 2025. Tak ada kelonggaran sebab kita dah di bawah akta dah masuk dalam akta. Tak boleh lagi ada kelonggaran.
He said this when met at a My Future Jobs Career Carnival held in Gua Musang today. Previously, the media reported that 3 states are not ready to implement minimum wage of 1,700 ringgit. Now, some of the excuses given were economic growth and business ecosystem that is yet conducive to accommodate the 200 ringgit wage increase. Now, a national convention will be held at the first quarter or in the first quarter of next year to fine-tune the implementation of the second chance policy for bankrupt companies. Now, according to Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said, the convention will discuss the need to expand the policy and propose necessary amendments to related laws.
Bukan satu convention bersama dengan semua agensi terlibat dengan beberapa libat urus stakeholders supaya kita dapat membuatkan satu convention antara kebangsaan lah. Dan kemudian lepas di peringkat nasional tu kita akan buat di peringkat negeri-negeri. Saya tak tahu di aspek undang-undang sama ada kita nak melihat kepada pindaan undang-undang untuk membantu ataupun lebih kepada struktur.
Speaking to the media, she said this initiative is in line with the recent announcement by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim in expanding the second chance policy during the tabling of Budget 2025. Now, the policy has helped over 170,000 bankrupt individuals rebuild their lives and will now be expanded to bankrupt companies. Now, as Malaysia's population continues to grow, ensuring food security becomes a concern with challenges of climate change, urbanization and reliance on imports arise. Now, since 2023, an organization under the Malaysia Parliament, the All-Party Parliamentary Group Malaysia Sustainable Development Goals, or the APPGM SDG, has carried out a total of 365 community farming projects to create sustainable food production in line with the government's National Agro-Food Policy 2021-2030. Under its community farming unit, the group aims to encourage more Malaysians to join community farming initiative. And not only focusing on farming sector, the initiative also includes animal breeding project and is expected to accommodate local demands as well as income generations for the participating communities.
Second one, we focus on the income generation. So when we talk about the income generation, we not just focus on how the beneficiaries to supply the produce at the market, but the main thing is for their own consumption. It's for their own food. Okay, let's focus on their own food, then to the market. Our researcher will go on the ground. They will identify what kind of issues, what kind of solution we can help the community. Okay, so during this research, okay, during this focal group discussion, we identify the issues that happen in the community. So what I can say, okay, I think everyone know that that we are facing on the global crisis in terms of the shortage of food. So this is where community farming initiative came in and helped the community.
The group today launched the Community Farming Project's Best Practices Impacting the Grassroots book. The book showcases 41 success stories among community farmers, as well as the Sustainable Agriculture module aimed at helping grassroots communities adopt sustainable farming practices. For Drug Intervention Community Malaysia, or DIC Malaysia, a non-profit community-based organisation that focuses on addressing negative impact of drug use, Community Farming Initiative under APPGM SDG certainly helps former drug addicts to build up various skills through farming and animal breeding projects before re-entering the community.
Sebenarnya kita orang tak ada pengalaman dalam bidang peternakan. Kita orang memang kosong. So APPGM menyediakan khidmat nasihatlah kepakaran ataupun berkongsi dengan lain-lain pertubuhan yang telah dapat dana daripada APPGM sebelum ni. So dari situ kita kenal dengan NGO lain yang buat projek ternakan, pertanian. So berkongsi-kongsi pendapat, ada sikit knowledge, kita hantar kita punya resident kursus.
By equipping them with various skill sets, some of the former residents of DIC Malaysia managed to venture into entrepreneurship in farming and animal husbandry sectors. Up next, Pakistani separatists killed 25 in railway station blast. Now, bombing claimed by Pakistani separatists killed 25 people, including 14 soldiers, at a railway station in the southwestern Balochistan province. Police on Saturday said the blast hit as passengers waited on the platform at the main railway station in the provincial capital, Quetta. A spokesperson for a local hospital said dozens of people wounded in the blast had been brought to the facility along with multiple dead. Now, despite frequent attacks in Balochistan, the toll of Saturday's blast was particularly high for the southwestern province, which borders Afghanistan and Iran. The train station explosion hit at around 8:45 a.m. or 0345 GMT and was claimed by the Baloch Liberation Army, or the BLA, one of the area's main separatist groups. BLA in a statement said the attack was carried out on a Pakistani army unit at Quetta railway station after completing a course at the infantry school. Now, the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif condemned the attack. The BLA frequently claims deadly attacks against security forces or Pakistanis from other provinces, notably Punjabis. Indonesia's Mount Lewotobi Laki-Laki erupted at least 3 times early on Saturday, spewing an ash column 9 kilometers high as authorities plan to widen the restricted area. Now, a big eruption last Sunday by the volcano in East Nusa Tenggara province killed 9. Since then, authorities have been scrambling to evacuate 16,000 people from villages nearest the crater as the eruptions continue. The country's volcanology agency in a statement said that the eruption began at 4:47 local time or 20:47 GMT. There were no immediate reports of damage to nearby villages from Saturday's fresh eruption. But the agency warned residents to remain alert to the potential for coal lava floods due to heavy rainfall. On Friday, another huge eruption forced officials at a nearby monitoring post to evacuate as ash and small rocks rained down. The mountain on Thursday spewed an ash tower 8 kilometers high, which locals said was one of the biggest they had ever seen. Now, more than 10,000 people have been affected by the eruptions, with officials telling locals to permanently relocate from an 8-kilometer exclusion zone. The head of Indonesia's disaster mitigation agency said authorities would temporarily house and fund locals while new homes were built. Coming up in sports, Aaron Woo-Yik one step away from Courier Masters glory. Now, the Olympic Council of Malaysia, or OCM, revealed that Malaysia's request to host the badminton event in conjunction with the 2026 Commonwealth Games was rejected by the Commonwealth Games Federation, or the CGF. Now, OCM Secretary General Dato' Muhammad Nazifuddin Najib said Malaysia proposed that the sport, which has been a medal stronghold for the country, be held concurrently with the other 10 sports set by the host, Glasgow, Scotland, from the 23rd of July to the 2nd of August 2026. Badminton is among the sports dropped from the 2026 Commonwealth Games to reduce the cost of hosting the Games in Glasgow.
Ini adalah Commonwealth Games yang berlainan sikit sebab dia kes tarik diri daripada Victoria, Australia. Jadi kita harap dalam edisi-edisi yang akan datang, Commonwealth Games akan teruskan format yang biasa yang kita harap memang ada badminton dengan squash.
He said this to reporters after the 211th OCM meeting and the 43rd OCM General Assembly in Kuala Lumpur today. Now, only 10 sports will be contested across 4 venues within a 12.8-kilometer radius compared to the 19 sports at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England, with approximately 3,000 athletes from 74 Commonwealth countries and territories expected to participate. Now, Glasgow, hosting the event for the second time after the 2014 edition, stepped in after Malaysia declined the offer to replace Victoria, Australia, which was originally slated to host the 2026 edition, but withdrew in July last year due to rising hosting costs. Now, world number 7 Aaron Chia and So Woo-Yik are one step away from winning their first title of the year after advancing to the Courier Masters men's doubles final in Iksan City today. Now, the top seeds overcame Taiwan's scratch pairing of Chiu Xiang-che and Wang Qilin 21-17, 21-16 in a 36-minute semi-final. Xiang-che, Qilin have reached their third semi-final since forming a partnership after the Olympics, as they also made it this far in the Korean and Hong Kong Opens in September. Li Yang, Qilin's former partner, retired after they won their second Olympic gold in Paris in August. Now, this was Aaron Woo-Yik's last 4 appearance since winning bronze in the Paris Olympics. Aaron Woo-Yik will face another scratch pairing, Jin Yong Kim Won-ho from South Korea, in the final tomorrow. The Korean duo defeated compatriots Ki Dong-ju and Seo Seong-jae 16-21, 21-19, 21-16 in their semi-final match. Aaron Woo-Yik last made it to a final in the All England in March, where they finished runners-up. Moving on to football, Al Hilal returned to the top of the Saudi Pro League, defeating Al Ettifaq 3-1 to rack up the pressure on under-fire coach Steven Gerrard. Now, 3 fine goals from Alexander Mitrovic, Malcolm and Mohammad Al-Qahtani did the damage as the champions moved a point clear of Al Ittihad, who won 2-0 at Al Aruba on Thursday. Mitrovic opened the scoring late in first half stoppage time with a smart left-footed finish. The second goal came in the 81st minute when Malcolm, who was running in from the left side of the area, made his way to a smart back heel from Abdullah Al-Hamdan. The Brazilian then took the ball past the goalkeeper with his first touch and then rolled the ball home. Now, during injury time, Al-Ettifaq were handed a lifeline in the shape of a penalty, and Vitinho stepped up to place the ball into the bottom corner. Unfortunately for the visitors, it served just to wake up the hosts, who quickly restored their 2-goal lead when Malcolm fed Muhammad Al-Khatani, who turned 360 degrees to make a little space in the area and then fired a low shot home. It got even worse for Al-Ettifaq as Abdullah Radif was sent off for shoving Ali Al-Bulaihi in the neck, and there was really no coming back from that. Elsewhere, Al Nassr continued its form from midweek by beating Al Riyadh 1-0 in a match at the Prince Faisal bin Fahd Stadium in Riyadh. Now, after 10 matches, Al Nassr are third in the table with 22 points, 6 points of Saudi Pro League leaders Al Hilal on 28, with Al Ittihad currently in second on 27. Al Nassr came closest to taking the lead in the 36th minute when Talisca's header from a corner was saved by Milan Borjan before making another save to deny Cristiano Ronaldo from close range. The chance ended with Muhammad Simakan smashing the ball into the left post from the rebound. Now, 5 minutes later, Sadio Mane found the breakthrough after precisely meeting Abdurrahman Garib's pass from the right inside the box. Mane took a first-time shot with the ball going in off the crossbar. In the second half, Al Riyadh would have gotten an equaliser in the 55th minute if it wasn't for centre-back Ali Lajami's quick thinking to nick the ball away from Muhammad Al-Akil, who was running onto a cross played into the box. Ronaldo then had an opportunity rejected by the Al Riyadh goalkeeper, with a subsequent rebound shot by Talisca disallowed because he was offside. Final item on tennis, American Coco Gauff defeated world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka 7-6, 6-3 in the semi-finals of the WTA Finals on Friday and will take on China's Zheng Qinwen in the showpiece match. Now, Sabalenka will end the year at the top of the world rankings, but her bid for a maiden WTA Finals title was ended by Gauff, who reached her first final at the end of the season event. Now, earlier, 7th seed Zheng overcome battling Czech Barbora Krejcikova 6-3, 7-5 to reach Saturday's showpiece on her debut. The first set led to a tiebreak where the American cruised to a 6-1 lead, breaking Sabalenka 4 times before the Belarusian broke twice to save the first 2 set points, but Gauff held her nerve to take the set. Sabalenka cut a frustrated figure throughout the match, and Gauff raced into a 4-1 lead in the second set before the 6th game turned into a marathon affair. Sabalenka rallied and broke again, but Gauff kept her cool, and just when it seemed Sabalenka would claw her way back into the tie, the American broke for a 4th time in the second set. And that's it from us this evening. In our top story, no exemption in implementation of minimum wage. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I'm Jessica Lee. Thank you for watching and good night.